week 1 of our March new coach training. Nicole and I are going to be co-hosting this thing together. My name is Katie Gorey. If you've never met me before, if you are one of my incredible coaches, welcome to the team called to inspire. I have been a coach for the last 6.5 years, and I'm the founder of our team. And Nicole is one of the leaders on our team. So she is going to help me in hosting tonight's training. And I'm so grateful for all of her help because she is honestly like my best friend, and I don't even know where I would be without her. So I'm so grateful for her. She's absolutely incredible. So for those of you that are new here, welcome. We're so excited to have you as a part of the team. Our mission is to love, to serve, and to inspire others through sharing our own journey, through sharing what has been tried and true, what we know has worked for us on our journey, if we have been on this journey for any length of time. And for those of you that are brand new to coaching and brand new to Beachbody, welcome. You are about to go on the ride of your life, and you are going to fall absolutely in love with Beachbody, the programs, the products, and the coach community above all. I feel like the coach community really is that next level of accountability. It really is the opportunity to pay this incredible gift forward to others that need this as much as we do. And it's just such an amazing space. So I am a lifetime 3-star diamond coach. We are a premier team. And again, I've been in this business for 6.5 years. So you can stand firm in the fact that I am not going anywhere. And I have made so many mistakes in my business over the years. My personal upline sponsor quit a couple of years into the business. And if anything is possible, I am here to tell you everything is figure outable. So no matter where you stand, just know that you can figure this out, and I will be here to help you shortcut through the mistakes that I have already made so that you don't make the same mistakes. But you're going to have the opportunity to make your own mistakes and to learn and to grow. And I think that's one of the coolest things about this business is we're always ever evolving. We're always learning. We're always growing. And one of the biggest things that we do, and we start with each and every day, is our personal development. So Nicole's going to share a little bit about this and the book that we're all going to be reading together in this new coach training this month. I'm hoping her unmute works.
It does. I was just making sure. I see you have week 2 pulled up, so I'm just making sure you're on the right week.
Oh, I hope I am. It said week 1. Wait, let me look. Oh, I'm on week 2. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said that.
I've got week 1 pulled up on mine, but if you want to pull it up on yours.
I have it. I must have just pulled up the wrong week. I'm sorry. I'm so glad you caught that before we hopped in, because it all starts with the compound effect. So there I was thinking I was doing good. It's okay. This is real life. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Making mistakes and just figuring it out as you go on the fly, because this is real life. I'm hoping it's going to, of course, my internet's thinking now. Okay. Let me get over to the slide that we really need to be on. Okay, so it doesn't start on that. I was assuming it did. I know that we're about to talk about the compound effect in just a moment. So, okay, Nicole, you're up.
So the only thing, like the main thing we expect from you guys is to either show up or watch the recording so you guys can get the most out of these trainings, because learning from us, you're going to learn, like you're going to get the tools and everything that you need to succeed in this business. And Beachbody gives you a lot of those tools in your coach back office, but we're here to help kind of like simplify it a little bit so you don't feel so overwhelmed, because there's a lot of videos, a lot of trainings that have gone on for the last couple of years. So we're here to help you just not feel overwhelmed. And I know the last 4 years of me being a coach, that's one thing I have not had. And I'm grateful for Katie and this team is there really hasn't been a time that I've been overwhelmed, because I've been given what I need and gone from there. So just commit to it, commit to this journey, these next 4 weeks, whether you show up live, or whether you watch the recordings, because I know I have another coach who works nights, so she is not able to show up on the live calls, and that's totally fine. She will watch the recordings. Be coachable, allow us to teach you. That's huge. Just allow to learn and adapt. That's a big thing. I know that's hard to do new things and to accept change, but we're here to help, and we are your friends through this. We are not gonna steer you the wrong way. We promise. We are here to just go through it with you. And Katie and me are going through this with you as well. I don't think you could ever learn enough with this business. And as Katie said, things are constantly evolving with Beachbody. Things are constantly changing with Beachbody. And then follow, just tunnel vision and follow the lead, like our lead. You just follow our lead. Don't get like sidetracked on all the other like distractions that can happen. Like I said, it's so easy to get overwhelmed, but if you just follow our lead, we will set you up for success. We promise.
Absolutely. And we're going to be here to help keep you focused on the things that are really important that you need to learn in the very early stages and beginning stages of your business. And our goal is to help you do that in the simplest way possible. Nicole is busy. She works her full-time corporate job. Her husband is currently gone on a mini deployment right now. She's got her daughter. So of all people, she knows how busy it is and how hard it can be. But this business is possible no matter how busy you are. It's not about having the time, but it's about making the time for your business. So that's where the commit comes in. And again, just being willing to learn and grow. We're going to show you everything that you need to know, and we're going to give it to you in bite-sized pieces. So step by step. And we know that you're going to be successful because this system works. We've put a lot of coaches through it and they have seen success. So we know it's going to work for you too. So trust us here as we set some goals. So week 1, the goal is really to get excited, to get organized, and to launch or relaunch your business. If you are a veteran coach and maybe for whatever reason life has happened and you're looking to step back into the business and you really want to hit the ground running, that is what we are here for. So you can kind of think of week 1 as your preseason, right? We're getting everything that we need in order. We're starting to get organized. We're starting to figure out exactly what we need to do in order to see that success in your business and to really set you up for a successful training over these 4 weeks. So that's what week 1 is going to be all about. You can look through weeks 2, 3, and 4, but it's really going to be about from that point forward, learning, growing, building some momentum, and starting to help people on their journey. So the goal at the end of these 4 weeks is for you to graduate new coach training and to have a little graduation celebration to help you have already helped at least your first person and start setting some goals for yourself in this business. So that's where we're going to be setting those goals. The first week is all about excitement, and we'll have some homework assignments for you to kind of walk you through exactly how to get organized and launch your business.
Yeah, so week 1 training is pretty much setting up like everything. Number 2, you want to be proof that the product works. That's one of our main vital behaviors, is just be proof. Proof, like you showing up for your workouts, sharing them, that's proof that it works. Drinking your shakes, how it makes you feel, that's proof. If you're drinking the Energize, proof that it gives you that boost to show up, because I know it sure helps me in the mornings. Especially like when my husband's away, I am a horrible sleeper. So I stay up late and I have to get up at 6 o'clock every morning to get this little one on the bus. And that Energize really helps me get that boost afterwards. So announcing your biz, that's a big, big step, is, just putting it out there that this is what you do. This is, just announcing that coach announcement, whether even if you don't have a social media, you can put it, like Diane has these amazing newsletters that go out to her clients that she has with the business she runs, and you add it in there, or tell your friends, your family, that what you're doing, be proud of it. What you're inviting to is really important. That's what we're going to be touching on. And connecting and inviting is something else that we're going to be working on through this week 1 training.
Yep. And so we're going to walk you through all of these things step by step and bite-sized pieces to help you get your business launched. So here are some things that you kind of need to know. So Google Drive, if you don't already have Google Drive, make sure that you download Google Drive. It's totally free. For those of you that have a Gmail account, you'll notice that you already have access to a drive and can create a free drive, but make sure you have access to an online folder where you can create a folder for all of these resources that we're going to be sharing with you, because there's going to be a lot of resources that we share with you over the course of this training, and you're going to want to have them all housed in one place where you can easily reference back to them So this is what's going to help create the foundation for your business. So make sure that you have Google Drive. There is, like I said, an app. You also can download it on your computer, and you're going to just want to create a folder within there, and you can put new coach training on it and just drop everything that we share with you. Save those things, put them in that folder so that way you can easily reference back to them later. Tracking. I don't care how you track, but tracking is one of the foundational pieces of our business, whether it's a binder, or if you're that person that loves Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets, you can do it that way. Google Drive, totally up to you. You can even use the notebook in your phone. You can use a spiral notebook if that's what works best for you. But the goal is for you to be tracking the people that you're connecting to and tracking your invites and tracking your follow-ups, because the only way to really be able to stay organized within your business, especially as your business starts to expand and grow, is to have that foundation set up and to know who you're talking to. If you're not marking down and knowing exactly who you've, connected with and who you've invited, it's going to be really hard to follow up, right? So setting dates next to those people's names, maybe a little bit about your conversation, but having it in place in one system or another. And again, you get to choose what that system is going to look like for you. And then a calendar. So we're going to be talking about time blocking and how you can squeeze in, this business into 30-minute blocks of time each day, or into 15-minute chunks of time that you have. Or if you have time, all the time in the world, you can sit down and say, okay, for this hour of the day, I'm going to sit down and do these things. You get to choose when you work your business. We will not be here to tell you what to do or how to do it. We'll just give you our best practices and our tips to help guide you. But we do need you to sit down and figure out what your calendar is going to look like for the next 4 weeks, and figure out when you're going to be able to sit down and do the assignments for this training, because the assignments will take some time. And then on top of that, obviously, setting aside some time to implement some of the things that we're teaching you. So this training is going to be amazing. It's completely comprehensive. And these are the top 3 things that you're really going to need right out of the gate: is the Google Drive, a system of tracking, and starting to figure out what your calendar is going to look like moving forward. And there's the compound effect.
So can we ask questions, or do you want us to wait until the end?
If you'll save it for the end, we'll answer all the questions as soon as we're done. You can drop them in the chat if you want, or write it down just so you don't forget, but that way we can get through all the content and then we'll answer all the questions at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, there's the compound effect, Katie. That's the slide you're waiting for. So the personal development, as coaches, this is another one of our vital behaviors, is personal development. And this is like one of my favorite things of being a coach, because when I first started, I didn't think I needed this. And then I realized really quickly that this is really something I needed. And it's something that I do every day. And I have done it every day for the last almost 4 years. Is personal development. And it can look different for everybody. But we highly recommend, please download this book. You can either Kindle it, you can buy it hardback, paperback, or I have it on Audible. Audible is very easy for me because I'm very busy and I'm always I'm on the go. So just pushing play in the car is like how I get my personal development in. So goal number 1 is to read or listen to 10 to 15 minutes per day, 5 days a week. So that way you'll hit goal 2 and finish chapters 1 through 3 by next week. So by next Tuesday, you should have those 3 chapters done. So if you're a very busy person and you have earbuds in, I recommend audibles for the very busy person if you don't have time to sit down and open a book and read it. But if you have more free time on your hand, then and you like the paper, open book handheld thing, that works too.
And I actually had a couple of coaches over the last new coach training that we went through that were even able to get a hold of this book at their local library. So if you aren't wanting to go out and purchase the book, check with your local library, because you could probably get a copy of it there as well. And that would save you a little bit of money of having to go and purchase it, unless you just want a copy. I will say The Compound Effect is a book that I've read multiple times, and I love going back to this book specifically. It's one of my favorite books. So I would suggest purchasing it. But if for some reason you're not wanting to do that, check with your local library, because they often have a copy of it as well. The next thing we're going to talk about is, again, being the proof product, the products work, which I know Nicole touched on just a little bit ago. But if we're really going to make a difference, and this is a quote from the Compound Effect, if we're really going to make a difference, we have to be willing to share and help others while we're on our own journey. And I feel like that's so huge, because so much of what we do is just being the proof that what we do works. I know for me, that's honestly what drew me to coaching, was my own excitement about my own journey, and so many of my family and friends really asking me what I was doing to see the results that I was seeing. And that starts with the workouts and the nutrition and the accountability. That's where the proof really comes from. And it's literally our job as coaches to work out now. That honestly has motivated me more than anything, because when other people are relying on us, we show up a little bit differently. It's the best accountability of all time. So make sure you plan your workout into your day, and then it's all set, and you show up like you would any other important business meeting, because this is part of your job. So, and that's almost exciting. It makes me excited for my workouts. It gets me really hyped up to show up in a different way, because I know just by showing up, I'm inspiring others to show up or make some changes and shifts in their life. And that's one of the best things that I feel like we do as coaches. So nutrition, when it comes to nutrition, you guys, perfection doesn't exist. And I know that I've shared a little bit with some of my girls that in the past I battled an eating disorder. And a lot of that stemmed from trying to create this perfect ideal of perfect nutrition and just going all in with it all the time, and not having the treats and the quote unquote cheat meals and things like that. We don't have to be a nutrition expert, and we're supposed to show the real side of what a healthy lifestyle looks like. And for me, and for most of the coaches on our team, that's moderation, and that's being able to eat really well, follow my containers, because I am a portion fix girl, and showing people what that looks like and how simple it can be to just throw everything in a bowl and be ready to go and still make nutrition really simple. But also, like today, I went with my girls to the movies, and I had popcorn, and I enjoyed the heck out of it. And it was, one of those things where we allow ourselves to enjoy things like that. It's not about depriving ourselves. It really is about creating that space for all of the things that we love, and just showing people that healthy eating can exist amongst, those treats and things that we're going to enjoy as well. I think someone's unmuted. Hang on just a second. Let me see if I can figure out who it is.
I can't read this book.
Got it. Wait, I think I got it. Okay. And then the accountability part of it is leaning in and joining in on our community, checking into our virtual gym or our bod group, and tracking and sharing your day and your progress in your bod groups, telling the world what your goals are, and really going all in with that, because I feel like it can be so easy to not do those things. But I will tell you guys, having the accountability of the bod group and our wellness community on Facebook has changed the game for me. I show up different because I know our community is there. And there are days sometimes that I don't want to show up, but I see the other women in there showing up, and it motivates me. And I know that when I do that, it does that for them as well. So that's the accountability piece of it. You can choose one or the other. You don't necessarily have to do both, but you do need to lean into one space, and whatever that space is for you. Ultimately, the cool thing as coaches is you'll be running your own accountability groups at some point. Our big community will always be like the big overarching place for everyone. It is our fit family. It's for everyone. But ultimately, all of our coaches kind of branch off and run their own bod groups and have their own things going on as well. So that's the accountability piece of it. And now we're going to talk about being proof out loud.
Yeah. So when you get a chance, watch this video.
It'll be a homework assignment.
Yeah, it'll be part of your homework assignment. But yeah, being proof out loud, and like I said, that's one of the vital behaviors, is just showing that it works. Like you showing up for your workouts, share how it makes you feel. Share again what the shakes are doing for you. Like if you drink those shakes daily, how is it making you feel? I know when I drink those shakes on the daily, my gut health feels a lot better. And I know that's something we don't feel comfortable talking about, but really it helps a lot. To energize, it gives me that boost I need after a long night. Especially with this little one, she sleeps with me when her dad is gone. So I don't sleep that well. And yeah, just sharing what you love about it. And that's what coaching is sharing what you love about these workouts, what you love about the community, what you love about the products. I
And
can
just
tell
your
you,
nutrition too. I think sometimes
yes,
we forget to mention that, like what you're doing for your meals, most people, almost every client I've ever worked with has struggled with nutrition in some way, shape, or form. And so sharing that too and keeping it really simple, even though that's not necessarily like a program or a product. I mean, obviously, To Be Mindset and Portion Fix are, but just showing what you're eating or healthy swaps, like, oh my gosh, that is mind blowing. And most people need that too.
yeah, because you're not going to be able to outwork a bad diet. So if people are showing up for the workout, show what you're eating as well, because that'll show them, okay, she's getting results by working out, but she's also getting results by eating this too. And
Right.
like Katie said, don't deprive yourself. Like Evelyn wanted pizza tonight. I ordered pizza and I had a slice, you know what I mean? But I didn't overdo it. But if I love pizza, I love nachos. I'm going to share that I ate pizza and I ate nachos. I'm not going to deprive myself of that food because, like Katie, I also battled an eating disorder and I would never want to get back in those habits by depriving. So it's just
Absolutely.
like that bold statement, be proof out loud. Just share what you're doing. That's all it is. It's just sharing what you're doing every single day. Share the hard, share the good, be real. A lot of people on social media, you see, they just share the highlight reels.
Right.
I've learned that people relate more to me when I share when I'm struggling, when Bryce is gone. I share the struggle moments as a mom, or anything with work and stuff like that. Just share, just be real.
Absolutely.
People relate
And
to you.
don't feel like now that you're a coach that you have to quote unquote do all these things perfectly and just share the good stuff, because like Nicole just said, it's sharing like the real raw stuff of life that people connect to, right? Somebody that's struggling is not going to connect with somebody who has everything perfect all the time and, doesn't, occasionally have treat meals. Like, I hate to say this, but nobody wants to eat perfectly all the time and not be able to enjoy the things that they love. Nobody wants to do a hardcore workout 7 days a week, 365 days a year, right? Like, we have to show them, what does that rest and recovery look like? What does that, balanced nutrition look like with the treat meals? What does it look like to be able to, make that time and create that space for you to do something that you love to do? So we're teaching them all of those things by being real and raw and authentic. And so I'm just going to encourage you guys, don't feel like you have to step into this perfection place as a coach. Being you just like you are, how you are today, is going to connect and relate to more people than you trying to show up as the quote unquote perfect coach, because people relate to imperfection because everybody is perfectly imperfect, right? So the next thing we're going to talk about is deciding what you're inviting to your own group, which again, I've talked about a little bit about. We have our big community, but I have some coaches that hit the ground running and they're like, I just want to do my own thing. Like, I have a plan in place of the type of person I'm looking to invite and what I want to do. And I'm really excited about this. And we can help you if you're wanting to set up your own group, but be thinking about that. You obviously have access to add people to your upline coaches group. So our big Facebook community is available to you. And as a coach on your team, you're allowed to plug your new clients into that group if that's where you want to start. Also, same thing for bod groups. For Nicole or I or Shelby or any of the other leaders on our team, you can plug your people into their bod group if you want to do that, or you can even do one-on-one. And I have some coaches that are like, I really just want to like text my clients and maybe create a pod like we have on Messenger and connect with them that way. And then maybe they'll plug into the community too, but really have that like really close connection of the one-on-one. And so again, you can do that on Messenger, Voxer, WhatsApp, or a regular text message going back and forth, or a group text. There's a lot of different options on how you can run your group, but it's really important to sit down and think about what you're going to be inviting to, because you're going to be excited and feel more confident about inviting whenever you know what you're inviting to. So think about what you want to be inviting to. And then Nicole's going to talk about announcing your business.
Okay, so this is going to look different for those who don't have social media, but the main thing is announcing it. That's the biggest like step is announcing, and I touched that a little bit before. So whether it's a transformation post, an excited post, or a heartfelt post, we'll give you an example to help guide you in creating that post, but it's important to put it out there. Whether you're sharing with family, like, well, I mean, if you post it on Facebook, you're going to be sharing it with families and friends, but you can also say it personally. I know when I first, even before I even said yes to coaching, I talked to my husband about it first, because I wanted him to know what I was doing. So it's very important just to put that out there. You can create a reel. Those who have social media, Instagram, those reels, Facebook has them now too. It'll show like you examples of good transformations of reels. Like I love reels. Like I was really nervous when they first came out, but I've actually learned to really have fun with them, because it's a really awesome way to just be your own creative self. I'm sure we'll touch on this, but it's like thumbprints, and Katie, I can talk about that. Like if you have questions about that. I don't know if you've had that in the training or not, Katie. But I can message my coaches one-on-one, kind of like what the thumbprints are, or if you guys want to know more about it, just let me know. But it's like your own little thing that makes you. Me, gaming, like, German Shepherd mom, military spouse, things like that. That's like my thumbprint. Photography. So like, it's just reels is a great way to just put a creative spin on what you do as a coach, whether it's the virtual gym or just your own personal life. Stories are a great way to just share your day, like what your morning routine looks like, maybe if you're struggling, you want to just talk about it. And it's really opened up conversations with other people, because I'll get messages like, making sure I'm okay, like through Bryce's deployment, or, just offering support while he's deployed. Like I've connected to a lot of military spouses because they know what I'm going through when our loved ones leave. So it's just, there's different ways that you can announce it, and different ways that you can just show up as yourself and connect to people on social media. If you don't have social media, how you connect to like your friends and family on a daily basis is a great way to announce that you've decided to do what you're, doing as a coach and what you do, and maybe invite them to join you on the journey as like an accountability buddy, because you're not just their coach, you guys are accountability buddies. And that's a big thing. It's like we all hold each other accountability, like are each other accountable through this journey.
Yeah. Absolutely. And in your homework assignment from this week, it is going to teach you and walk you through how to do each of these things. And I feel like you could easily, like I know for Diane doesn't have social media, you could easily take what we're going to share as far as creating a post, and you could write an email. Or you could share something like that with friends and family. So again, for everyone, I know that we all go about this in a different way, but we're going to teach you how to do it in a post. We're going to teach you how to do it in a reel, which is like a video. And then your stories, which are on Instagram and on Facebook, where you're going to be speaking to your audience basically, and just letting them know what you're doing and telling them that you are now a coach and how excited you are, and maybe why you decided to become a coach, and what has changed and shifted in your life since you came to Beachbody, or what do you hope is going to change for you if you're brand new to this. So we're going to walk you through all of that. There will be videos and there will be information that's going to walk you through exactly how to do this. So again, don't feel overwhelmed by this, because we're going to teach you exactly how to do this. And one of your pieces of homework is going to be crafting your coach announcement, which Nicole and I will be here inside of our pod to walk you through, so you can share them there as you go, and we can help you in crafting it if you're feeling stuck or you feel like you need some additional guidance or support. And then we're going to teach you guys how to respond to likes, comments, and views on the post that you do. So you're going to write your coach announcement post. We're going to motivate you and inspire you to go out there and just put it out there, even if it means just closing your eyes and hitting that post button. I know the first time I posted, that's how I felt. I was really nervous about it, but I put myself out there. And I think a lot of times we get in our own head thinking about how other people are going to respond to us sharing. And most people respond so well, and they are just so happy for you. And so we're going to teach you not only how to do the post, but also how to respond once you've posted the post. We don't just post a post. We really honestly, post with purpose, and we're not waiting for people to just come to us, but we also don't spam family and friends. It's all about being a good human and learning how to connect with people in such a genuine, authentic way that it never, ever feels icky. Because I know some people have come to this and they're like, I don't want to spam all of my family and friends. That's not what this is about. It's more about being a shares person, just like you would, again, share your favorite mascara. You're sharing what you're doing and you're just asking if they're interested. And whether the answer be yes or no, I don't know about you guys, but I'm never offended if I'm like, I love this mascara. And my sister-in-law's like, yeah, it's not really my favorite. I'm like, okay, that's totally fine. Like, I'm not offended by that. So same thing goes with coaching. We just put it out there. We invite people to join us. And then if it's a good fit for them, a lot of times they will join. And so that's what we focus on. And Nicole's going to wrap it up with how much time this is going to take and really getting you guys set up so that you know what your time frame is going to look like for this week.
Okay, so don't freak out because this is not in one day. Don't be like, oh my God, 1 hour here, 2 hour here, 2 hours. No, this is like through the week. So it could take less time. It could take more time. So 5 to 10 hours is like the goal, with like committing to the process and being coachable with the tunnel vision and following our lead. So it's like one step at a time. So like setting up could take an hour, like downloading the Google Drive and setting up the calendars and all that we put in the slide before. Personal development could be an hour out of the week. So if you think about it, if you're listening to, the amount of time that we said in the previous slide, it'll add up and you should be good to go to get that, those 3 chapters in with the compound effect. Being proof that the product works. So if your workouts are like 30 minutes, 5 days a week, it could, end up being like 2 hours out of the week or whatever, depending on what your workouts look like. Or if you're sharing like your meals and things like that on social media, it adds up to possibly 2 hours. It could be less. It just depends on how much you show up in your social media or how much you talk about it to your friends and family. Announcing. So in your coach announcement, just crafting it may take some time, and then working with Katie and I to make sure that it works for you and that you're happy with it, and we get you set up with that. And then connecting. So responding to comments, likes, and all of that, connecting to friends and family could take time. So this is kind of just like the rundown and like what it could look like. And like I said, it could be more or less. But this is through the week. Don't freak out. It's not one day.
Absolutely. So it's really committing 5 to 10 hours to your business for the week and spending that time. And we want you guys to know that it's going to take a little bit more time, especially in the beginning, because you're learning a lot of new things, but you're not just learning these things, you're implementing them as you go. And that's the whole goal here, is to help you and starting to take action towards these goals and towards being that proof out loud. Obviously, if you've been on your journey for any length of time, you're already doing your workouts and you're already doing those things. So being the proof out loud means you're sharing those, kind of like Nicole was mentioning. So that's the time that you're spending, crafting posts each day and sharing your story. And again, with the announcement. So we are super excited that you're here. Your homework assignment will be going out to you tomorrow. I'm going to stop the share here. Your homework assignment will be going out to you tomorrow, and it will have step-by-step every single thing that you need, including some short videos for you to watch that are going to guide you through connecting and talking with people, how to respond to likes, comments, and views, how to craft your coach announcement post, what that looks like. So there will literally be a step-by-step to guide you along the way as you go, to make sure that you have everything that you need to do each thing that we mentioned tonight. So, and then again, if you have any questions beyond that, please reach out to Nicole or I in the pod. We will get back with you. We'll answer your questions there. But if anybody has any questions tonight, feel free to share it in the chat, or you can unmute and just ask away. That's what we're here for. I hope our training answered a lot of them. But again, I'm just gonna give you guys a couple of minutes, unmute with whatever questions you have, and we will walk through whatever you've got. Because I'm sure if you have that question, someone else has that question as well, and they're probably thinking the exact same thing.
In the beginning, you talked about needing to set up a Google Drive. Is the reason why you're specifically saying Google Drive is because that's what you use and it's easier to transfer over? The reason I'm asking is because in my business, I already have a cloud storage system thing that I use. And so I had kind of already set up my Beachbody folder and it started putting some things in there. And I can adjust, but I just wanted a little bit more understanding because I'll be managing too, which is totally fine. Just needing a little understanding on that.
It is easier to download all of the documents if you have Google Drive, but if you want to save your resources into the cloud that you already have, that's totally fine. If that's where you're already at, it will, make your life probably a lot easier because you can just have a separate folder for all of your Beachbody stuff. But you may still need to download the app in order to access all of the files that we're going to be dropping to you. So I've never had anybody that doesn't have it. So if for some reason you're not able to download the files without having Google Drive, reach out and let me know. But you can still download it for free in order to pull everything down that you need and then ultimately store everything on your cloud if you want to do that. Does that make sense?
I have a Gmail for my personal email.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll play with that. I just was wondering. Okay, thank you.
You shouldn't have any issues pulling it down. If you already have a Gmail account, then you shouldn't have any issues pulling it down because in order to get a Google Drive account, you have to have a Gmail account. So if you already have that, you shouldn't have any issues. But Diane, if you come into any issues with it, just reach out and we'll make sure that you get over all of the documents because I can even send them to you separately if I need to, if that's easier for you. It's not a big deal because I have them all. So
thank you.
Welcome. Britton, did you have a question?
Yes. So, well, it's more like I already made my announcement. Nina and oh my gosh, I'm forgetting names right now, but I was with them one morning and they had me like post my stuff. Okay. So do you want me to repost it since it's been a minute and things have happened since then?
Yes.
And can I use the same one? Is that okay?
I would say yes. You definitely need to re-announce your business and I would put your own little personal flair because obviously some things change when there's a period of time in between the initial coach announcement and then obviously like actually showing up as a coach and working your business. I wouldn't say that you need to say anything about the time frame that you posted.
I mean, it's only been a couple of months or not even a couple of months, I don't think. I can't remember.
I would suggest, and what you're going to do as a coach, and let me clarify, like when you start your business, you announce it, right? But as coaches, we're constantly quote unquote re-announcing our business and sharing about the business. So rather than an announcement post, I feel like you could do a post talking about what you're doing. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a full-on announcement post, but I would suggest doing a post as well. And then we're going to get you in the habit of doing that on a regular basis so that there won't be a lapse in time between where you've done your post and where you're continuing to talk about it on a regular basis. So what we're going to focus on in the new coach training these next 4 weeks is getting really consistent and doing the basic behaviors of posting and sharing your journey and sharing what you're doing as a coach. So that would be my suggestion. You can take the old post if you want to reuse some of that and use that as your post, or what you can do is re-announce it over again. I'm going to leave that up to you. You and Nicole can kind of talk about that if you want to do it in a different way, but I would say yes to the post, regardless of whether it's a coach re-announcement or just a regular coach post talking about what you're doing and your journey. Okay. Any other questions? Anybody have any questions? Megan, Katie, Sam, Bridge. Any other questions? That's what we're here for. We have a few more minutes. We've got like 7 more minutes. So if anybody wants to ask anything, now's the time. You can also ask over in our new coach thread. And again, if you message Nicole or I one-on-one, we're going to redirect you back to the thread, because that's where we want you to be asking those questions. Because again, if you have that question, somebody else likely has the exact same question. So rather than answering each of these questions one-on-one, it makes more sense for everyone to receive the benefit of that knowledge all at the same time. So keep the questions over there and keep them coming. Again, keep them coming. If you have questions on conversations, just take a screenshot of it and post it into the group. Come to us with conversations you've had if you're not sure where to go. And we're going to be walking through it step by step. So again, you know, there's no such thing as a silly question. Megan said she's good. Bridget said she's good. And the link, Katie, will be going out tomorrow. So no worries. The link will be going out tomorrow along with the recording. So if you need to go back and watch the first few minutes of this, you totally can. And I'm hoping that everyone got the content. Britton said that she didn't get the text. I think we've worked out all the kinks. Britton and I have added the updated information into the system. So you should be good to go. If you do not receive the content tomorrow, which I'll be in contact with Nicole to make sure that you do. If for some reason y'all don't receive the text message or the email tomorrow with the recording, reach out in the new coach thread and I'll make sure everyone gets their hands on it. But it will be going out to you guys tomorrow.
So one more question on the social media.
Yep.
And I'm not on Facebook or Instagram. However, you know, they're not the only social media platforms.
Right.
So because there are almost like an explosion of social media platforms out there now.
Yep.
If this is already in the stuff you're sending, then you can just tell me to read that tomorrow. But one of the things that I'm wondering is, like, is there a best practice as far as for the explosion of social media programs or platforms out there, including Rumble and, you know, all of that? Should you just pick a couple? Should you pick one? Like, is it possible to get too much going on and then you can't keep up with it? So
that is a great question. And no, that is not in the training, because I feel like for most people, they're already kind of in a place. And I feel like you're in a unique position because you're not, but that's also a really cool space to be, because you get to hand pick where you want to go and who the people are that you're going to connect with in that space. I say pick two. No matter what those two are, pick two and lean into those two. And you get to choose whatever they are for you. For some people, like you said, there's Rumble, there's Twitter, there's TikTok, there's, you know, Instagram, there's Facebook. You can choose whichever platforms you feel most comfortable and confident on, that you enjoy that space, that you actually want to be on. And at that point, just lean into those platforms. So this month is really about focusing on the basics and getting comfortable and sharing your story out loud. I would, if you are considering adding social media and you do not currently have it, pick whichever platform you want and start that platform. Next month, what we're really going to be focusing on is branding and moving forward in creating a really consistent time management system for you. And so all of that's going to be more focused on social media and teaching social media. So this month is more of the basics of the business and getting really good at our vital behaviors and starting to share your journey. So I would pick whatever platforms you want. And then obviously you can start sharing on those platforms too. And then we'll go into more, which I know you already have your own other business. So you've got some branding and all of that already under your belt. So I feel like that'll probably be a breeze for you. But for those that are new to this, you know, pick your two platforms. Don't overwhelm yourself with 4 or 5 platforms. Pick a couple, because what you're going to find is social media has a lot of distractions. And we talk about that a lot in month 2, how easy it can be to get distracted and to lose focus. And like Nicole said earlier, our goal is for that tunnel vision and to help you in doing the basics of this business, because this business is really simple. It's the basics on repeat over and over again and continuing to help others on your journey. And so if you can get the basics down, you are going to crush this thing. So that's what we're really going to be focusing on during this first month. And then again, next month, we'll dive a little bit deeper into social media and really dive a little bit deeper into branding and that kind of thing. So Any other questions? That was a really good question.